The Lagos state government is working towards an intermodal system of transportation using the road, rail and water. Recently, the government signed an MoU for the development of the much-anticipated fourth mainland bridge. This is expected to significantly reduce traffic in the state. Earlier, I spoke to Professor Ademola Abba, Special Advisor to the Governor, Lagos Global.
As you know, the fourth mainland bridge, the MoU, was signed on the 25th of this month. Just last week, Wednesday, which is a landmark MoU for this government, not just because we've got, it coming on, but also because of the fact that it's taken quite a long time. It's been dream of past regimes, and it's remarkable that this government is been able to accomplish that feat. I mean, signing the MoU within its first year. Yep, as you know, it's a bridge that is going to be about 39 kilometers long. Certainly one of the longest bridges that you will have in Africa. Probably the longest bridge in Africa, one of the longest in the world, to be specific with you. And so we are very excited about it as a government, and also because of the fact that it's going to take a huge chunk of the problems or the challenges we have as far as the traffic gridlock in this state is concerned.
And how does the government plan to fund the development of this bridge?
Great question, because people have been asking, the same question. To be honest with you, it's going to be funded 100% by private investors. The government has no penny in this. Of course, what we are contributing is a right of way, which is our equity, basically, but it's going to be fully funded by the investors. And you've got a huge group of consortium that is going to run the fourth mainland bridge, and if you know, they include JB and some other local investors. I mean, what is gladdening about the MoU on fourth mainland bridge is the fact that it's predominantly composed by local investors, and that is very, very exciting.
And when can Lagosians expect completion?
Well, in terms of duration, well, as you know, we've just signed the MoU. I don't want to speculate too much. We're going to sit down with the investors, but we have a rough idea given to us by those who want to build it. It's not going to take forever. You're talking about 3 or 4 years, 5 years down the road. It's not 20, 30 years from now. But again, the MoU is just the beginning of an agreement. It's to say, we are willing to do this, you are willing to do that. Now, we are going to sit down specifically to the individual agreements of the different parts of what is going to be the MoU, the fourth mainland bridge, beg your pardon. It's at that point in time that we'll be able to put final details into the implementation and the execution of the bridge itself.
Are there plans for the development of more bridges of this sort in Lagos State?
Lagosians will wish to have more bridges, more flyovers, to be able to evacuate people and to be able to better, deal with the traffic gridlock we have in the state. But look, let's take it one step at a time. This government has huge hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And what we've been doing so far is to ensure that we deliver on all the promises we made as a government during the campaign period. Whether it is government of inclusiveness, which you saw yesterday, is probably the only government so far that has focused a huge attention, as an example, on people living with physical challenges, otherwise the disabled people. We had a huge program yesterday focused on ability in disability. That was a huge, for us, that's what inclusiveness means. So we're rolling out more and more programs for our people, no doubt about that. But whether there's going to be 6th, 7th, 5th, 10th, it will be on need basis. Of course, if this government feels, after the completion and the operation of fourth mainland bridge, if the government thinks that there is need for a fifth mainland bridge or even a 6th, and we have investors, why not?
Could you give us insight into the number and value of investment proposals that you've received in regards to transportation in Lagos?
Well, at this stage, I cannot just put my finger and say we've got 20, we've got 500 or 1 million. What I can say is that we've got a huge interest in different types of transportation we want to implement in the state, as we've said, be it water or rail. Even on land transportation, we've got a lot of interest in that. So we have so many. From different parts of the world, there are some local ones. There are some people who have come from all over the world who want to invest in water transportation in Lagos State, in rail transportation in Lagos State. And these are people with incredible expertise in this particular area. So we've got a lot of interest. But what is also important is that we are also talking to a lot of them to see which investor is going to give the best value for money for Lagos, because this government is about value for money. Every single penny we spend in it, we want to justify that is spent in the best interest of Lagosians and of Lagos State. So yeah, we have a lot of interest, and we are talking to as many people and as many groups as possible.
Finally, let's focus on the work that your office is doing to make things easier for investors in general.
The Office of Overseas Affairs and Investment, otherwise called Lagos Global, was one of the very first acts of His Excellency Akinwumi Ambode when he became the governor of Lagos State on May 29, 2015. And the reason for that, or the establishment of that office, was because of the felt need to improve the way we do business in Lagos State, basically. So the office was brought on board to serve as a one-stop shop to all other MDAs, first and foremost, within the government, and also at the federal level, and the investors. And the whole point of one-stop shop is that if you're an investor who wants to invest in Lagos State today, and you need a piece of land, you need to get permits, you need to get this and that, you do not need to go to all the MDAs responsible for that. You can just come to Lagos Global, that is our office, and make an application. And the first thing is we look at your application in any case for the investment itself. Is it the kind of investment that Lagos State is interested in and will benefit Lagosians? If the answer is yes, then we take the next step. What do you need? We look at what you need, then we are able to coordinate whatever you need and speak on your behalf as an investor to different MDAs within this government, within the state. If there are such aspects of things that you need that are under the purview of the federal government, then we will liaise with the Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission, the NIPC, which is a federal equivalent of what we are doing in Lagos. And they have the mandate to coordinate the federal authorities that you might need engagement with in your proposal and your investment, beg your pardon. They will coordinate those ones on the federal government behalf. So that by the time we, in Lagos Global, we are dealing with the NIPC, basically we are dealing with all the relevant federal authorities and also the relevant state authorities that an investment will need. And that is the essence of one-stop shop.
Professor Ademola Abbas is Special Advisor to the Governor for Lagos Global.